Okay, madam.
So let us see what are the constants in parallel programming. So if you see here, the concept of constants is also similar to PHP and similar to other programming languages. Constant is an identifier which is used to store the value, and we cannot change the value of constant at time of execution. So constant topic also similar to the other programming languages, but constant is a identifier which is used to store the value, and we cannot change the value of constant during the execution. We cannot change the value of constant during the execution. So by convention, the constant identifier name is always in uppercase. In parallel, the constant identifier name will always be in the uppercase. We can declare a constant in the parallel using use directive. So by using the use directive, we have a directive in the parallel called use. By using this use directive, we can declare a constant. So let us see. Constant is an identifier which is used to store the values. We cannot change the value of constant during the execution. Constant's name is always in the uppercase, and we can declare a constant in parallel programming using the directive called use. Use is the directive, and using the use directive only we can declare a constant in parallel. So let us see how it is happening. So declaring a single constant. So what is the directive we should use? Use a equal to 10. So a is a constant, and we are declaring only single constant at a time. So we should use the directive use to declare a constant, and if once constant is declared, we cannot modify or update it. So here the constant a is declared. Again we cannot make some modifications on a. We can just print that's it. So output we will get an error, because to declare a constant you should use the directive use. Once a constant is declared, we cannot reuse or remodify or redefine it. So let us see here. We are declaring multiple constants at a time. So use is a directive. Using use directive, we can declare a constant. So we can declare a multiple constants at a time. See here, I used the directive use. A is a constant, B is a constant, Pi is a constant. A value is 10, B value is 20, pi value is 3.14. And I want to print this pi value, and output I will get the value of pi. So you can declare any number of constants, you can initialize any number of constants, you can print any number of constants also. But for constants in parallel, you should use the directive use. Here I have created a, b, pi constants, and I printed the pi constants only. The value of pi is 3.14. That came into the output. So constant is an identifier which is used to store the values, and constant is an identifier which is used to store the values. Constants always will be in the uppercase, and we in the parallel programming we should use the use directive. We should use the use directive for constants. So once the constant is declared or initialized, again you cannot redefine it. So you can n number of constants and different number of constants you can declare at a time, and you can print also. Here I declared the pi value is 3.14, and I got the output pi value also. And for printing, in parallel programming, for printing what we are using? Print only. Print is the word only used for displaying output. So this is about constants. So let us see what are the data types. You already know a data type is used to define which type of data it is. If it is a number, integer. If it is a pointing number, decimal, floating point. If it is a string, or if it is something else. So in PHP also we have data types. In parallel also we have data types. and these data types are same in any programming language. So these data types also we have in Perl. See, we have primitive data types and compound data types, integers, floating points, numbers, strings, booleans, arrays, objects, resource and null. These are all the same data types in parallel programming also. Integer, which can be in decimal format, octal format and hexadecimal format also, and floating point numbers, strings which will hold the names, booleans which will give you only two values, either true or false, arrays which can store the group of elements, objects and resources or compound data types where you can store the processed data, where you can have the attributes also, and null is also a data type. So Habde will ask you the question, what are the different data types you have in Perl? You can see the example here, see. List out the data types used in Perl. This is the question asked in 2019. List out the data types used in Perl. This is the question asked in 2019. Same data types you will have like in PHP. Null, objects, resource, arrays, booleans, strings, floating point, integers. Data types are same in this programming language also. Next, operators. So operators also same. We have numerical operator, string operator, assignment operator, comparison operator and logical operators. See, what I wanted to tell you is the concept of data types, functions, arrays, operators are same in like PHP, like Perl. So we already know what are the operators. Assignment operators, logical operators means logical and, logical or, logical nor, comparison operators, equal to, not equal to. So all these are same. So data types are integers, floating point numbers, strings, booleans, arrays, objects, resources and null. Same way operators also, numerical operator, string operator, binary assignment operator, comparison operators and logical operators. Same way arrays also same. Arrays is used to collect the data. Arrays is a group of data. Array index will be starting with 0. Array index will always start with 0. List of elements we will have in array. So see here, Perl also, in Perl programming also we have an array which is with the starting index 0. If you see here, a of 0, 10, a of 1, 20, a of 2, 30. You have the array with 3 elements 10, 20, 30. This is a of 0, a of 1, a of 2. In Perl programming also array is same. Array is always used to store the data. Array is used to store the list of elements. In Perl also array elements will always start with indexing with 0 only. So arrays concept also same in Perl. Operators also same, data types also same. Same operators we have like in PHP, same data types we have like in PHP, and arrays concept also same. So next let us see what is a subroutine. See, as I told you, Perl is one kind of programming language. Pascal is also a kind of programming language. In Pascal, functions are those which will return a value. Procedures are those which will not return a value. If we are returning a value means it is a function. I am talking about Pascal programming. Pascal is also a kind of programming language. In Pascal programming language, function is nothing but which will return a value. Procedure is nothing but which will not return a value. Same way in Perl, subroutine is user defined, and while a function may mean one of the Perl's built-in functions. So we can have built-in functions. So the user defined functions are subroutines. Like Perl, we have Pascal programming language also. In Pascal programming language, function means which will return a value. Procedure means which will not return a value. Same way in Perl also we have functions. In functions also we have built-in functions. So subroutine is user defined function. In Perl programming, subroutine is user defined function. So how can you define a subroutine? You can define your own subroutine. User defined functions we are telling. So functions are of so many types. predefined functions, user-defined functions, built-in functions, variable functions, callback functions. So in these many type of functions, in parallel programming, subroutine is nothing but user-defined function only. So you are defining it, you can define as you want. So what is the way of defining this subroutine? You can use the keyword sub followed by name of subroutine without the symbol of ampersand. This and symbol is called symbol of ampersand. You can use it or you can remove also. Followed by a block of code with the curly braces. So defining a subroutine in parallel programming language is very simple. You can define your own subroutine because subroutines are nothing but user defined functions only. So in Pascal, function which is returning the value is a function. Procedure is which is not returning a value. Same way in the parallel programming, we have different types of functions like user defined function, predefined function, built-in functions, callback functions, same as PHP only. So in these all kinds of functions, subroutine is a user defined function. Since it is a user defined function, you can define it on your own. So for keyword we are using sub. Keyword we are using sub followed by the subroutine name. So I am taking addition here, subroutine name. If you want, you can use ampersand symbol, or if you don't want, you can leave also. $C is a variable, scalar variable. I am adding $A and $B and storing in the $C and printing the $C value. So $A is a scalar variable. $B is also a scalar variable. $C is also a scalar variable. Adding these two A and B and storing in C, and I am printing the C value. Nothing but a addition program. For this addition program, I have taken the subroutine name as addition. I am using the keyword as sub. If you want, you can use the ampersand symbol, and if you don't want, you can remove it also, ampersand symbol. So how can you define a subroutine? With the help of keyword sub and subroutine name and by some variables or block of code with the curly braces. The ampersand symbol is optional. If you want, you can have it. So while defining the subroutine, you should not have a separate namespace. So parallel is confused if you have subroutine called. Parallel will not confuse if you have the subroutine name like ampersand add or $add. This is the subroutine, this is the variable. Parallel will not confuse. So what I wanted to tell you is, you don't need to use separate names for subroutines. You can use general names for subroutine in parallel programming also. Parallel will not confuse between ampersand add and $add. $add is a scalar variable. Ampersand add is a subroutine. In parallel programming, subroutines are nothing but user defined functions. If you want, you can use ampersand symbol, optional. So parallel interpreter will not confuse between ampersand A and $A because ampersand add is a subroutine. Ampersand add is a subroutine for parallel. $add is scalar variable for parallel. So we are talking about subroutines. In parallel programming language, user defined functions are subroutines. You can declare your own, you can define your own subroutine using the keyword sub followed by your subroutine name. If you want, you can use ampersand symbol also. Parallel interpreter will not confuse between ampersand and $add because $add is a scalar variable, ampersand add is a subroutine for parallel interpreter. So what all we have seen today? So we have started what is a parallel programming, what are the elements of parallel programming, so how can you declare a variable, what are the rules for declaring the variables, types of variables, then parallel interpreter will not confuse between the types of variables, how can you run the parallel programming in JAM server using command line or using web-based execution, steps to be followed while executing in command line, steps to be followed while executing in web browser. What do you mean by a constant? Once if you declare a constant, you cannot redefine it in parallel programming. At a time, you can declare any number of constant using the declarative use. Then data types are same in the parallel programming like integers, floating points, strings, booleans, arrays and objects and resources and null. Null is also a data type which will hold nothing or it can hold a null value. So the question will be asked like this, list out the data types used in parallel. So next operators, these operators also same in like XML and same like in PHP. Assignment operators, string operators, binary assignment operators, comparison operators and logical operators. So arrays also same which are going to hold the values, similar kind of data, and array index will start with 0. And example of how to accessing the elements of an array. How you can access the elements of array? The array index will start with 0 and sequential numbers it will give. Array elements are numbered using the sequential integers beginning with the 0. So this is the way to access the elements in the array. Next, subroutines. In parallel programming, different types of functions we have. User defined functions, predefined functions, callback functions, and same way we have variable functions also. So subroutines are nothing but the user defined functions. So you can define on your own using the keyword sub, and ampersand symbol if you want you can use, otherwise if you don't want you can leave it. And parallel interpreter will not confuse between the ampersand add and $add. $add is a scalar variable for parallel interpreter. Ampersand add is a subroutine for parallel interpreter. So if we have left out topics anything in unit 5, in next class we will discuss. Unit 5 is about complete parallel programming. In parallel programming also, what are the constants, what are the variables, what are the functions, arrays, these only. So very similar to PHP, and we have some little modifications. So these and all we have discussed for today. If we have anything left over, we'll discuss in the next class.